Switch sentence to the international scene, that is the English Premier League, where a lot of teams, did not play up to the par this weekend. Let's be honest, Elvis. Teams like Liverpool had to bounce back, to get a 3-1 win against Wolves. Manchester City also had to bounce back to get a 3-1 win over West Ham. Manchester United, continue suffering under the hands of Brighton. It is not getting any easier.
Maybe Vidalis can help us.
And also Arsenal this time around, since 2017, they had not got any win at Goodison Park against Everton. But this time around, it was a 1-0 win courtesy of Leandro Trossard that managed to give them the desired 3 points away at Goodison Park. Let's start with the troubles at United, Elvis. Manchester United 3-1 loss against Brighton. It seems like Robert De Zerbi, that is Brighton's head coach, has a proper plan whenever it comes to play against United. It is now his 4th straight win against United. Every time they play, he seems to dominate. He seems to know how to hurt United, and and also as far as United's side is concerned, they managed quite a good run. 20 home games without a defeat. But this time round against Brighton, they were not at par. It's just sum up generally how United performed against Brighton.
Thank you very much. Brighton is a strong team. It has really changed some tactics because the leader
right.
is well back. Yes, well back. Yes. He's very experienced. He's from Manu. He knows the positioning of Manchester. He knows the defense. He knows where the problem is. He knows the holes and the loops. Let me explain you. Manu started around the first team was were putting a lot of pressure,
right.
But I think it came up with a lot of selfishness and wanted to really showcase their own skills. Right. The defense for Manu, they really needed to push the ball to the other side against the goalpost.
Right.
But when it was 1-1 on the bad side, it was really cancelled to be out. When Højlund scored,
right.
And then Rashford passed it to be out. VAR, it was okay. For Manu, the players were all okay. Only they needed to reduce the selfishness in the game,
right.
And also they really needed Martinez as a defender really needed to go on the side. I feel as you saw the face of Martinez,
right.
it wasn't really very in sync with the game. It was really stuck from number 2 Lindro. Yes, he wasn't really good. But if they changed position with Martinez, I think Martinez to be a front man at the defense, it could have been really good. It could have been really good to tackle the other team. But Lin was really sleeping on the defense. That really disappointed the goalkeeper. He was telling them to relax and stay, but he didn't listen.
Right.
The defense was really poor. The goalkeeper couldn't really save the ball. If the defense was really good, he was really awake, I feel the goalkeeper spirit could have been really uplifted and
right.
Changed the score. But now, if the area if the defense was the problem, then the goalkeeper was really disappointed.
Right.
So that you see, wangefungwa hata tano, but ali save mingi.
Right.
But I don't know what coaches think from now. I think he really need to sit down and see all these disappointment and Varane.
Right.
Sure. Yes, and Shaw and the defense. Wan-Bissaka. You see, he was brought in remaining for 4 minutes. I think that is the worry that made Manu to lose. But I think they really need to sit down and look for more defense and revamp from. If they really need to have five defense on the bench,
right.
Because as you saw, Maguire,
Right.
Maguire cannot be in this game again. Please, tunaogopa coach. Coach tafadhali Maguire usimlete tena. If there is 3 other defenders on the bench, it's okay, but they really need to increase defense on the bench. And Anthony Marshall and Garnacho missed the game. It was really sad, but I think if they were there, it could have changed the result. If Garnacho was probably Garnacho alikuwa amewekwa for Wednesday. If I know Garnacho is powerful for the Europa Championship, but that is my opinion.
All right. What about Brighton's side? Dezabi, since taking over from Graham Potter at Brighton, he has been getting a lot of positive results. For example, this season when it started, the only defeat that they've had was a shocking one against West Ham, who have also, let's give them their flowers because they started really well in the season. But then again, when you look at a tough team like Newcastle, they beat them 3-1, right? Now they have this particular win against, against United, a 3-1, another 3-1 win. Remember, they also played Wolves, gave them a beating of 4-1. It seems to me that Dezabi has his players under control. Just like you mentioned when the game started, United started really well. A lot of playing a lot of pressure against Brighton, but they seemed to be they were very relaxed. They could not succumb to the pressure United were giving them, and that was quite evident on how Danny Welbeck scored the first goal. Well composed, passing out the game really well, and then followed by Pascal Grobe's goal. Then then before we had João Pedro coming in as a substitute and getting a goal for his team. It was 3-0 up before United managed to get their single goal that came by their young player.
We thank God.
Yes, that came through courtesy of the young player Hannibal. Well, we are seeing a situation where that it could have been easily 3-0 because Brighton are playing with a lot of confidence. With a lot of they are passing out the ball really well. When they are defending, they also defend as a team. Where do you believe Brighton is getting it right as far as ticking the right boxes is concerned?
For now, it's a revenge. It's a revenge because they want to go back to the top.
Right.
Brighton and Newcastle. Sorry,
right.
Newcastle.
Right.
Newcastle, it is a revenge to Newcastle because Brighton management is really well and they have a very good confidence. For the first leg, they opened and you saw the confidence. They've really scored. They've won 4 games. The coach knows, and he wants to keep the mind being very positive.
Right.
He knows where the skills are. He places them to the right position. He knows where Welbeck can perform. He knows who's the key player. He knows who can assist.
Right.
He knows who is told to do headers.
Right.
He knows who is good for the corners. He has gelled well with the players, and he knows, as you can see, it's evidence. The confidence is good. The game they're playing, they're really good. The defense for Man U is good than Brighton's. But you can see, look at the game at Wolves.
Right.
They scored 4-1 against Wolves. I think if they continue with the same value and the
right.
same culture and
right.
the same confidence, that will show a positive result in the game. And I believe that is the reason why they've really improved from the last season. The positioning for number 3, number 4, it's good. I'm really wondering what is the tactics and how they have really revamped back to the game.
Right.
I think they have an opportunity to be in position 3 or position 4, but Man U, they cannot really come back from Brighton. The loss that they got from Brighton, that really disappointed them.
Right.
If they scored more than Brighton, probably more goals, probably they can come back and really continue being on the top of the table. But for now they cannot be number 1, number 2, number 3. I think they'll finish the season at number 4. They'll finish like Liverpool or Tottenham. Going back to number 4 is a problem.
That is a quite it's still early to call it, Elvis. But then again, I get your perspective I get where you're coming from, because in 5 games now, only they have managed only 3 defeats, back-to-back defeats, and they got a 1-0 win over Wolves. that it was very questionable. Because it could have
You know
ended
what,
the other way. Right. Also against Nottingham Forest, also they really struggled because they were 2-0 down before they came back to try and win the game. That they got a 3-2 win. But then again, the way United have started this season is quite shocking, and people are asked, questions are already being thrown at them. Will they survive? Remember, as we're going to speak about the Champions League, they are playing starting off with a tough side like Bayern Munich. That is not easy.
You're
Right.
not to also the chekelea, but
Right.
it's our people will laugh for us because people are believing money what I lose. The problem is the defense. The problem is the defense. The injuries.
Right. Varane is there.
Varane is there.
Right. Sure.
Shaw is there.
Martinez.
Martinez is there. They're all good. I'm confident with them. But the problem is one, and Martinez.
Right.
Sean connecting with Varane and
Saka.
Saka, they really gel well. But when they bring Martinez in and Lindelof, I think the defense becomes poor. Now, but I'm just praying one thing, for the coach's mind to be awake, and for the when it's the game against Bayern. Bayern is nothing compared to Man U. It has been beaten by Japan before, so I need them to try and really push and just win game moja tu. Mi tunataka tu iwashinde. That is my problem. But I think the coach is really worried,
right.
and he's really under pressure, and I know he's just trying. Just if now walishindwa jana,
right.
and then Wednesday wapigwe tena, it will be a big problem for them. But I think Hoyland need to play a full game, and Antonio Marshall has they really gel well with the team. They really gel well together. The pass, the assist, and Rashford on the side. Rashford being really far has really put pressure.
Right.
But I think if they start with Hoyland and Garnacho and Rashford, it will be easy for them to win. Because Rashford is really good at really doing his tactics,
right.
and putting the ball at the goalpost. But I think if they bring other people and bring them on the last game, it will make them lose against Bayern.
Right. What about the counterparts? Manchester counterpart, that is Manchester City. 5 games, 5 wins in a row for Pep Guardiola's side. One can easily say that they started off really well this season. After, of course, winning last season, it is sort of a morale booster because yes, despite the fact that Ward-Prowse got the West Ham's goal in the first half. Second half they came back. The new player that they have, Doku, the new number 11, is doing really well. He has stepped up to the plate, and Pep Guardiola has a lot of praise for the youngster. What do you believe is Manchester City's secret to doing well?
Manchester City is a strong team. He's a strong team. It has really stamped its authority,
right.
With no doubt, because the players are very good. I'm really and very confident. They have really scored. Pep Guardiola, the coach knows. He knows the players to sell and who to bring on board. I think their minds are very positive, and the players are really in the game. So, because now the young players, Doku, he's really motivated, and Pep is really encouraging him. You saw how West Ham scored the first time. Wakambiwa time bado when they continued. The 11th minute after second half, right. They really walked up, and you saw
right.
The time game ni 90. So West Ham scored 1, and they were relaxed, and they saw that they can change the winning strike for Man City. But after the passes, you saw it was 3-1. You can imagine Pep is really experienced, and his standards are very high. He's a coach to be reckoned with, and he has very confident players, right. And he's not really doubtful with them. He knows Man City will win. Maybe for the next 3 weeks, probably they can lose 1 or 2, but they have to continue with the winning stride.
Okay. Now we are coming to the end of the program, but then again, before we close the curtains on this one, the Champions League is back, the Europa League is back, the Europa Conference League as well is back in action this week, and there's a lot of talks on how the different group stages are looking at. But then again, let's just talk about some of the tomorrow's actions that you're going to see. AC Milan are playing tomorrow against Newcastle, and this will be interesting because we saw how AC Milan played last season. They sort of got their magic back, but then again this time around, the only problem that one may say that they sold some of their key players, the likes of Tonali, and now Tonali, who played for AC Milan, now plays for Newcastle, and he'll have a chance to exploit them should they when they play tomorrow.
Right. He'll bring on the gossip. Your gossip.
Kabisa. We also have young boys playing against Leipzig. Now Leipzig, we've seen them how they've been 50-50 as far as getting results is concerned. This is another this is another time for them to prove themselves in the Champions League against a tough side like young boys. PSG also playing against Borussia Dortmund. This will be another interesting action. Now also we have Manchester City who are also in action tomorrow against Vesda. We have also have the likes of Lazio against Atletico Madrid. Barcelona also in action against Antwerp. Those are just some of the teams that will be playing. Of course, we know United and against Bayern Munich away on Wednesday. A lot of action to anticipate. We'll talk about them in depth on Saturday. But then again, I just like to get your view and your opinion. The Champions League is back. What should you expect generally from some of these teams that I've mentioned out? And is it also a chance to see to pick more chances on how holes are going to be drilled on the likes of United? Because not forgetting, Arsenal are also back in the action. They've missed out for quite some time. They'll be looking to stamp the authority in the Champions League. How do you see this coming out for them generally?
I know Manu, if they met with Bayern, Kane is there. They have to be very careful with this man because he will disappoint. He has disappointed EPL. Now he has moved to Bayern.
Right.
But the defense has to really be worked on. The communication is key.
Okay.
30 minutes, they don't really start to be panting and really walking slow. They want to be very particular the first 45 minutes so that the other team can really tire and come back. If they put a lot of pressure in the first half, this will be good for them. They won't lose. But if they get rushed for the first 45 minutes, they'll just go home early. Hatutaki Manu iende home mapema. I believe if they work on defense and they be very careful and they really connect and really work well with the team, they will try probably and win 1-0. But Man City, Newcastle and AC Milan, yes, AC Milan, they know each other well because Man City is a powerful team as well as AC Milan. As you saw, as in English Premier League, it finished number 4, and now it has a position at Champions League. So AC Milan doesn't need to come to this game really seeing Newcastle as an underdog.
Right.
For Arsenal and PSG is a very strong team.
Right.
It has been on the top of the table from a while back. But I think I'm hoping and I'll be happy to see the EPL teams, our EPL teams, Manu, Man City, Newcastle, and Arsenal really thrashing the other teams.
Right.
Yes. I think our EPL, I'm really positive about them. The team is really good. I'm just hoping Manu is really giving us stress. Right. So we will discuss that on Saturday.
All right, let's take a quick.
All the team that has been paired with, they're all very weak. I think Man City is without a doubt. Right. That's a direct top. Young boys, they can be number 2 or probably number 3 in that group. but for their betterment.
Definitely, they are a team to watch out for because playing in Champions League definitely means that you're a top player, you're a top team, and you deserve a chance to play in the Champions League. In Group H, we have Barcelona coming back again once more. Then we have FC Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, then finally Antwerp in that particular group. Group H, Barcelona, Barcelona or Porto, who are the favorites?
Porto,
Yeah.
I'm supporting Porto because Barcelona has really declined for the longest time. Barcelona was the best team for the league, but for the Champions League, I think Porto will really do well in that league.
I'll disagree with you there, but then again, there's only one way to find out until the action, starts. Remember, Barcelona, of course, are boasting the likes of Lewandowski are in there. We have a former Man City captain Ilkay Gundogan. Right. Right.
You don't need to depend on one person.
Right.
Yes. Barcelona has been a team, a good team. Lewandowski from Barcelona leading the pack need to be very awake in these games,
yes,
so that they can top the league. But I think Barcelona will be best for the second round. But for now, it is 50-50. Let us just see how it will pan out, and then we'll discuss from there.
Okay.
Because
a lot of youngsters.
Messi from Argentina is there. Being there, he was really a strong team. But now he's not around. If Messi was there, then Barcelona could have won.
Yeah.
But now Messi has really moved on with life. But I'm hopeful. But Lewandowski and number 7 from Brazil, I'm hoping these two players, if they really work well, we can really celebrate them. But let us wait for Saturday and then confirm that.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, Coach Xavi has he seems to have a lot in his plate, and he has tactics, talents. And we've seen how the youngsters have done really well. And also they acquired recently the services of the Portuguese magnificent, João Felix, and also João Cancelo, the former Man City right back. So I think they have a lot of quality within the team, but we're going to see how they are going to play in these times. This time round in the Champions League. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the program. We had a lot lined up for you, but then again, remember to catch up with us this Saturday as we give you a detailed analysis on how the games would have played, and also focusing on the weekend games as well. Elvis, you have anything to add as we wind up?
I'm just thankful and I'm just hopeful and I'm just prayerful that Man U needs to really change and revamp. If you have any comment and opinion on how to change the team, please just send in your comment. Probably tawafikia, and just send in your prayers, please.
Alright, thank you once again. My sign language interpreters have been Jedida Wafula and Gideon Maina. Alongside the Enable team, Apivika Makawaida with me, Bill Clinton Odhiambo and Elvis. We want to say a massive appreciation to everyone who's taking their time. And until we meet again on Saturday, always keep it Science TV. Have a good night.
Goodbye.